know Pittsburgh works when you have a real estate professional like Lauren Klein, Coldwell Banker, Murraysville, getting that deal done. She's here today for another hour of the Pittsburgh Property Diva. Husband Chris Klein, of course, also from Pittsburgh Beautiful, in-house as well. They're streaming live on Facebook. If you'd like to call in and have any real estate question answered, 866-391-1020. Dollar Bank, Instant Access, KDKRadio.com. You can text us on the Red Automotive line, best deal in town. The workshop, a success.
It really was. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So the first For Real workshop was a huge success, and I wanted to say a special thanks to Assured Settlement Solutions and PNC Bank for sponsoring my very first workshop. And I was so excited and so nervous. I'm always nervous, but it went really well. I had such a nice group of agents to talk. Special thanks to Assured Settlement Solutions and PNC Bank for sponsoring my very first workshop. And I was so excited and so nervous. I'm always nervous, but it went really well. I had such a nice group of agents to talk with and learn more from. We actually all collaborated. I had 2 agents in there with 18 years experience coming to my workshop, which was a huge honor, and lots of new agents and some agents in the business for a couple years and just not really feeling it. And I think we all helped each other that day. So I have another one planned for May 16th.
Oh, so you're going right back to the well.
We are. I'm going to do 4 this year. That's my goal. And this one went so well, and everybody was so excited, and the feedback was just so flattering and humbling. I was inspired, and I'm going to do it again. And we're going to have the next one May 16th. And if anybody needs details on that, go to my website and click on the For Real tab at the top of the page.
All right, listen, I would love to hear from you out there in the audience today with a real estate question, whatever it might be. You know, Punxsutawney Phil said spring is coming early, so he must mean the spring market is coming early. So you want to jump in with all of your questions, especially if you're getting your house up for sale for the very first time, or you're at least scratching your head and thinking, you know what, maybe it's time. 866-391-1020. You know, obviously, if you're out in the market for a new home, she can help with that as well. Speaking of new homes, perfect segue, interest rates grant program. Talk to me about this and your amazing husband, who happens to be in the business of finance. I'm sure is going to chime in on this as well.
Yeah,
so
he is.
Go ahead.
He is. So we have a little rate update. PNC Bank does FHA loans, VA loans, conventional, jumbo, you name it. They can pretty much help you with any of your mortgage-related needs and your banking needs, of course. But they do have a first-time grant program available, $2,500 grant, and they are offering that. There are some stipulations, but I think they're pretty easy to move around for the first-time home buyer. But $2,500 is a lot of money towards your closing costs. So, Chris, you want to just tell us a little bit about the grant program and any stipulations that people need to worry about?
Sure. It's first of all, thanks for letting me talk.
Oh, you're welcome,
this week, sweetheart.
You're welcome.
This is how they actually talk at the breakfast table at home, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks,
And if
We're
you believe,
very polite.
and if you believe that, I got a great piece of swampland in Florida. No.
Thanks for passing the salt, sweetheart. No, PNC Bank has it's for first-time buyers, and it is a $2,500 grant program that does go towards your closing costs or your prepaids.
And prepaids are your funding your escrow
taxes and insurance, correct.
and your insurance
Right.
for that coming year.
Right.
So
And there's no catches with it. There's a lot of grant programs out there that they require some sort of payback or something like that at some point. Some are forgivable. This is a pure grant, and it is, as I said, for first-time buyers. There are some income limitations on it. And there are some property location limitations on it, census tracts. So low to moderate income census tracts is where it really applies and where it really helps the community the best. So if the property's in one of those areas, there aren't any income limitations. If it's anywhere else, then you can get the grant as long as you meet those income limitations, which is basically 80% of the HUD median income for the area. I won't go into the numbers on that. There's charts and everything. I can look it up. It takes 10 seconds. But
so how long is the program available, the $2,500 grant?
Currently, it's available until, I could be wrong about this, I believe it's the end of March.
Okay.
And it doesn't mean it's definitely going to go away because they look at demand for it. So
Okay.
it could be extended, but right now I think March is the deadline.
So if you're a first-time home buyer and you want a conventional loan, you can still apply for the grant?
Yes.
Okay.
Conventional or FHA.
Or FHA.
And also PNC has a community mortgage, a community program that is a PNC program that the grant would go towards, and it is for first-time buyers, and there's some other, it's a fixed rate, 30-year fixed rate, but it doesn't have any mortgage insurance and stuff like that. So there's a
Okay.
lot of programs that it applies towards.
So real quick, how are the interest rates? If you get this $2,500 grant, does your interest rate change at all?
Well, it depends. I mean, you know, honey, that interest rates are dependent on
Your credit score and your income.
a lot of
and,
things.
Okay.
Correct. So is there an interest rate special on it? Well, if you've got great credit, you're on any mortgage, for the most part, you know, you're going to qualify for the best interest rate available.
Okay. So if somebody wants to talk with you about the grant program or getting financing, how do they reach you?
They can call me. It's really easy, 412-805-7236. I'm so excited I got to put my phone number on the air.
Well, again,
It's incredible.
You're welcome.
And I'll tell you what, I put mine on there for the highest bidder.
See?
Cash is the only way it's going to
I
happen.
already tried that,
but
Ron.
see,
I didn't get any takers.
This grant program is really, really helpful
Yeah.
to the first-time home buyer.
You kidding me? Yeah.
Yes. So if you're eligible for it, take advantage of it. If you want to buy a house this spring, I think it's a really nice program.
Yeah, I do too. And I think it really shows PNC's commitment to the community and to Pittsburgh. And I think I mean, 1 out of every 2 people in Western PA has an account of some sort with PNC. So, you know, we're woven into the fabric here. So I think it's great.
Thank you.
All right, listen, we're going to take a very short break.
So let me ask you, are you struggling with even the idea of selling your home? Or perhaps you're looking to buy your dream home, but you're not sure where to begin? If so, I want to share with you my 7-step process that has helped me sell over 100 homes a year right here in Pittsburgh. This process shows you how to negotiate the best possible price for your dream house or sell your house for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. Hi, Lauren here from Coldwell Banker Real Estate. You may have come across me on one of my shows, Talk Diva with the Pittsburgh Property Diva. When I got into this industry, all I wanted to do was help people find their dream home. Now, most people think the process can be really overwhelming, and it can be very stressful. Whether it's your first home or your 5th home, whether you want to build your dream house or move into an old Victorian, I tell my clients all the time, it's a big deal, and I totally get it. So, over the last 10 years, I've created a 7-step process that has helped hundreds of satisfied clients. I've even sold a house in less than 2 hours of it listing. I guess that's why they call me the Pittsburgh Property Diva. Now, I grew up in Pittsburgh. I watched my dad work a full-time job as a school teacher, and in his spare time, he was buying and selling homes, rehabbing them, and renting them out. He even built the home I grew up in, just reading manuals. Now, he only finished the house last year, but it's really solid. My dad always encouraged me to get into the real estate industry, but somehow I ended up with a master's degree in forensic science and law. I know, super nerdy, right? But eventually, I realized that real estate is where I belong. So if you're ready to raise your expectations for your real estate experience, I'd love to hear from you. Just click on the link below to download my Buyer or Seller Diva Kit. And you can also schedule some one-on-one time with me so that we can fulfill your dreams today.
Get out and live a life. See riverscasino.com for full details.
For the latest news, sports, and weather information under one roof, go to KDKARadio.com, presented by NASCO Roofing. NASCO. NASCO.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on KDKA Radio.
All right, it is Pittsburgh Works. Lauren Klein, Pittsburgh Property Diva. Next hour, MediConnect Senior Zone. The guys from True Value at 10. AAA Central Talking Travel comes your way at 11. And then it's Dr. Joseph Hahnemann and Joe Messina Get Well Naturally, Weiner Wellness Center at 1 o'clock. And David Spiegelmeyer will be here from the Marcellus Shale Coalition on the Roger Show, 2 to 3. So we have a lot of stuff still to come. But right now we're talking about one of my favorite things, and that's the home business. And as I've said many times, when it's going well, the economy is going well. And they're doing extremely well right now in the business of mortgages. Her husband just talking about that moments ago from PNC, and she, of course, from Coldwell Banker in Murraysville. So what does someone do when they get that home, that maybe especially first-time home buyer? Well, they go to the dogs. Literally, folks, they go get a dog, right?
A lot of people. I have a young couple I'm working with right now. They're planning a wedding. They're buying a house. And, I'm always curious about what their plans are. So 9 times out of 10 when I get my first timers and they're either living at home with their parents or have been renting for a few years, one of them, if not both of them, always say, as soon as we buy a house, we're getting a dog. And nothing warms my heart more.
You think that just completes the white picket fence thing? What is it?
Well, listen, it's man's best friend, first of all.
It's everybody's best friend.
I love my dogs. And on the way in this morning, I was looking at Facebook, and we adopted a rescue a couple years ago named Spike, and anybody who looks at our Facebook pages knows that Spike's all over the place with his big eyes. But we got Spike at from the Pet Adoption League in Yukon, PA, and this woman does such amazing things to shelter animals and make them well and then adopt them into good homes. So I always encourage my clients and my friends and everybody I know, when you're looking to get a dog, go rescue one. They really are so grateful, and they make such good friends. And so if you need a dog, if you want a dog, go look at the Pet Adoption League in Yukon, PA. You can find them on Facebook. And Sarah is the lady who runs it, and she always has videos of the dogs that are available.
Listen, I have a hard time remembering anniversaries, birthdays, and if it wasn't for my smartphone, I'd probably be late every day. But I'm sitting out in front of the old homestead the other night. Don't ask me how I got there, but I did. And I pulled over because I had to actually do some business on the phone, and you're never supposed to text and drive, so parked the car. And it was February 12th. 1982 was when my dog of 17 years passed away. That's one date that will live forever.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how these pets are so connected to you?
Well, they do have a really special place in your heart, and sometimes they're better than people.
Yeah, I know. They don't put your stuff out on the porch. They welcome you in.
They do. They're always happy to see you.
Yeah.
And they love you unconditionally. And there are some pets that, have been abandoned or surrendered for whatever reason, and they do need a good home. So if you're in the market for a dog and you really want to do some good and make a new best friend, adopt one.
What's the best way to pick the type of dog for your personality? Nan's friend Alan Kaplan, we talk about this all the time. Dr. Mike and I talked about it for years. I don't like foo-foo dogs or those little designer dogs, but I like what now are called, like the cockapoos and cockadoodles and all those things. But they were basically Heinz 57 when I was growing up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I really like all types of dogs.
I do too. I think different people are drawn to different kinds of dogs, and I don't know, when I see a dog, I want to pet it and kiss it. And
now, are you leery of certain dogs?
No, not really. I like them all. I like big dogs and little dogs and medium
You
dogs.
feel that same way about cats, too?
I like cats too.
Do you?
Yeah, we have 3 cats, and well, we have a little new friend who's been coming and sitting on the patio and crying.
Now, if you could teach these cats to show homes, boy, you'd really be,
Right, I'd have a whole team.
Hey, but
I'd have a whole team.
But how? My grandmother could do that. But how do you make dogs and cats get along? My grandmother was
Mine
great at
just
that.
do automatically. Every once in a while, the dogs will get real frisky and chase the cats around, but typically they have their own spaces and they mind their own business, and
But the thing that you got to do if you're a pet owner, and I'm just saying this because we all love our pets, you got to teach them, train them properly when you bring them into your new home, because if you don't and you get into bad habits, it can really hurt you when it comes to resale.
Yes, it really can. And dogs especially, and cats, can be very, very destructive. So it's important to train them well, and they won't ruin your house. They won't chew up your baseboards and, pee on your floors. And, you have to pay attention to them.
She knows what she speaks of. The dog whisperer, ladies and gentlemen, Lauren Klein. All right, I want to talk about some other things. How about saving on a kitchen remodel?
Okay, so this is one of the things that people ask me about all the time when they are, they think they want to sell their house, they're ready to sell their house, they haven't updated the kitchen since they bought it 25 years ago, and to them it's fine the way it is, but it's dated. There are a couple different ways to save money, and depending on what your budget is like and what kind of return you're looking for in that improvement, I just read an article this week that I thought really captured the essence of a kitchen remodel, and you can spend upwards of $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 remodeling a kitchen, or you can do a lot of it yourself, and if it's planned properly, you can save some money. And just depending on what your budget looks like and what kind of return you want to get from that remodel. I think the main thing is to have a plan and a budget, and you stick to the budget and you work the plan around the budget. So if you say, well, listen, I only have $5,000, what's most important to you? Maybe you just paint the cabinetry, put some new hardware on, and get a new countertop.
Make a big difference, too.
Yes.
That alone.
Yes,
right?
it really does. And what they're saying in this article anyway, and I tend to agree, that if you have old wood cabinets that are still in good shape and you don't mind the design of them or the design of the kitchen, it's when you start moving things around that you're spending more money, more design efforts, and when you reconfigure the kitchen. If you're going to leave it the same and you just want a nice little facelift, white cabinets, sanded, primed, painted, some new handles, and a new countertop really go a long way. White is a nice, easy color for people to lean into.
Kitchens, heavy traffic, very important.
Part of the home, absolutely. And then if you have a bigger budget, add some new appliances
But
to it.
you realize if that's the case, the way you and I cook, our kitchens are on life support. Do you realize? 'Cause we don't
My
cook.
kitchen is completely spotless.
I know,
okay?
me too. My stove said, boil water, do anything.
Right.
I'm here. Just turn the knob. Let me see if I can
Turn
actually...
the knob, see what happens.
But I don't know. I get it, though.
Kitchens are very, very important.
Well, you know what? Just to have a cup of coffee and sit down,
Right.
and talk to people, great conversations. I mean, kitchens are important.
Yes, and I'll give you some tips on how I change the look of a kitchen just by making sure it's clean.
So when you think of your career and where you have come, you were looking at all these people at the workshop the other day. Is that really the deer in the headlight? Did you have that at one time too, wondering, what am I doing? Why won't it go quicker? Or did
Sure. Oh my goodness, I was so lost for probably the first six to 9 months. I felt so lost, and was I making the right choice? And was this ever going to change?
Am I ever going to start getting paid on a regular basis?
Yes. Am I ever going to make any money? Is anybody going to trust me to handle this moment in their life.
Very important moment.
Very important moment. And sure enough, I mean, patience paid off. And, you know, I'm blessed 100 times over.
Well, you obviously are happy at what you do, and it shows. Okay, we have got a lot of ground to cover when we come back in the final two segments of this week's edition of the Pittsburgh Property Diva with Lauren Klein, Coldwell Banker, Murraysville. And we're going to get back to trying to ask you to pick up the phone, give us a call, because it is getting close to the really launching pad for the spring market. And if you really want to get that home out there and get it up and hopefully sold quicker, you need to call us, and you need to get some questions answered. We want to help you with that. And if you're looking for a home, definitely that as well, too. And maybe you're kind of negotiating this whole thing called financing, and you're trying to figure it out, putting the pencil to a piece of paper and just trying to make it add up. You need to give us a call. And all of the things that you have to do before you sell your house.
accusing him of harassing them while on the job.
So let me ask you, are you struggling with even the idea of selling your home? Or perhaps you're looking to buy your dream home, but you're not sure where to begin? If so, I want to share with you my 7-step process that has helped me sell over 100 homes a year right here in Pittsburgh. This process shows you how to negotiate the best possible price for your dream house or sell your house for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. Hi, Lauren here from Coldwell Banker Real Estate. You may have come across me on one of my shows, Talk Diva with the Pittsburgh Property Diva. When I got into this industry, all I wanted to do was help people find their dream home. Now, most people think the process can be really overwhelming, and it can be very stressful. Whether it's your first home or your 5th home, whether you want to build your dream house or move into an old Victorian, I tell my clients all the time, it's a big deal, and I totally get it. So, over the last 10 years, I've created a 7-step process that has helped hundreds of satisfied clients. I've even sold a house in less than 2 hours of it listing. I guess that's why they call me the Pittsburgh Property Diva. Now, I grew up in Pittsburgh. I watched my dad work a full-time job as a school teacher, and in his spare time, he was buying and selling homes, rehabbing them, and renting them out. He even built the home I grew up in, just reading manuals. Now, he only finished the house last year, but it's really solid. My dad always encouraged me to get into the real estate industry, but somehow I ended up with a master's degree in forensic science and law. I know, super nerdy, right? But eventually, I realized that real estate is where I belong. So if you're ready to raise your expectations for your real estate experience, I'd love to hear from you. Just click on the link below to download my Buyer or Seller Diva Kit. And you can also schedule some one-on-one time with me so that we can fulfill your dreams today.
At 8:36, next news at 9 o'clock and always online at KDKARadio.com. I'm Shelby Cassasi on the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Property Divas, LLC.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on KDKA Radio.
Okay, we're back. Pittsburgh Property Diva Lauren Klein. You can call us. All of our lines are open right now at 866-391-1020. Dollar Bank Instant Access, KDKRadio.com. Text us on the Right Automotive line. Best deal in town. Back to kitchen remodeling,
Yes.
okay?
Start with a plan.
Yeah, anytime you start a remodeling project, it always seems to exceed what your budget says.
Does.
How do you really reel that in?
Well, I think when somebody wants to move and they want to update the kitchen in order to sell the house, that's not the time for a big $50,000 gut remodel. You're not going to see the return on it. What I would suggest on especially in a kitchen that is in good shape, where the cabinetry is still, it's not hanging off the walls. You can still use it.
And let me say this. We all want to be Andy Amrine, okay?
Right, and we're not.
But I could go into a phone booth, and I'm not coming out with a True Value a uniform on.
Right.
So don't start stripping your cabinets thinking you're going to be Mr. Fix-It when you have no clue what you're doing, and YouTube said I could do it.
Right, because sometimes when you do that, you make it worse.
Exactly.
And then then it's going to cost even more money to fix what you did.
So how do you find somebody that you can really trust in? This is one thing Andy and I talk about all the time.
It's not easy, but you can find people who are good and interview them.
You should do a workshop with the people that you use.
I love the people that I use.
I know.
I do. And they take excellent care of my clients. Sometimes my contractors are a little bit hard to get a hold of just because they're so busy. But Erin she decided she wanted to update her kitchen and do so economically and quickly. She didn't want her whole kitchen torn apart and not be able to cook and do things. She likes to cook and she likes to eat too. And if she's listening to me right now, she's going to be real mad.
Don't feel bad, Erin. I like to eat too. I don't like to cook, but I like to eat.
My little lumberjack. She loves to eat.
By the way, Erin has just submitted her resignation.
Right.
We love you, Erin.
Either that or she's going to give me a hefty fine.
Well, listen, Moya's Bakery, how can you not love these cannolis?
You know what, though? She doesn't eat much sweets.
Well, good. Bring them over here. I'll eat them.
She likes pasta and food, like food. But at any rate, she loves to cook.
Okay.
So she found a guy who was going to come out, take all the doors off her kitchen cabinetry because the cabinetry is in good order. And he's going to paint everything and put new hinges on and new hardware. And her countertop is it's going to go with what she wants to do. And then she's going to do a backsplash. So for maybe, I don't know, I'm going to say maybe $3,000 total, she will put a whole new facelift on her kitchen. And I helped her buy that house. So, that was the second house I helped her buy.
Aw.
A couple years ago. So, when you're doing these projects, first have a budget in your mind and then have a plan. And sometimes you need to call in a professional just to sketch something out for you and give you some ideas before you get the sledgehammer out.
Or you could call your dad. He's pretty good.
My dad. Oh, listen, don't even start on that. The bathroom is still a work in progress.
By the way, sir, that picture I just saw moments ago that she is carrying around in her purse of you and her daughter when she was very young is priceless.
Yeah,
it is.
Listen, I've had this in my purse for a couple weeks, and it's so cute. I pull it out all the time.
How about that picture you're holding now? You can do all that on your phone.
I know, but I still carry a piece of paper in my purse.
Right.
He's so cute. And my daughter, Julia, she's a freshman at Carlo, and I just got a letter in the mail yesterday. She's on the dean's list for the first semester of school.
Yeah, all of my kids are smart, but obviously that comes from the mothers, not me. Listen, we were debating if I was getting a diploma, as we were walking down the aisle for commencement. You know what I mean? So,
well, when they heard your name called, everybody was like,
I know.
Thank goodness.
Please don't get to the P's. Please don't get to the P's. We had bookmakers taking odds out in the parking lot. All right, listen, I highly am just trying to tell people, the weather's been a little bit nice, and I see all of the open houses and things happening in and around the neighborhood. You really need to get going. I mean,
yes, get going. I have, I think, 4 or 5 open houses this coming Sunday. You can always look on my Facebook page to see where my open houses are. I have one in the South Side, one in Cannonsburg, one in Murraysville, and one in Monroeville, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, look on my website. Oh, I also have a townhouse out in Penn Trafford that I just lowered the price on, and that one's open on Sunday too. So I have a whole inventory for people to look at.
Listen, I used to think this when I was 30, and I should have did it when I was 30. But now that I'm 62, I didn't. And again, I could kick myself. I've run into so many people my age 30 years ago who have bought townhouses like duplexes to where they've got the rent being paid on the other side that goes towards the mortgage.
Yes, I'm seeing quite a bit of that. I have a couple clients now looking for duplexes.
That truly does make so much. I mean,
it really does. If you do it smart.
Right.
Yes, and you get a good tenant in there. It takes care of your property, and you're right next door. So
they're not going to get away with too much.
Right. You can keep an eye on things.
But you basically are paying your utilities. I mean, if you do it the right way.
Some are paying most of the mortgage.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very smart investment, especially for a young buyer, to buy a duplex, have the other side generate some income.
Can somebody just call you at this 412-628-8286 number and say, look, find me a duplex?
Sure. People do it all the time. And what's
That's
really
the way to do it.
Well, what's really nice is that through the multi-list, we can set you up on a portal. Takes me, 5 minutes to set it up. You give me the parameters of what you're looking for and where you want to be and what kind of budget you have. And once the portal is set up, it just automatically emails you anytime there's a new listing that matches that criteria. So you're not all over the place on Zillow, on Realtor.com, and all these other websites that all have the same stuff from the multi-list, but some of it's not accurate. Some doesn't feed properly. Some houses show pending, some show sold, some show active. When you get with an agent and you get on the multi-list and you're set up in a portal, all you're getting are active listings. So you're not wasting your time looking through 10 different sites that have the same information on that's maybe right or maybe wrong. So that's important for buyers to know that if you're really serious, find an agent that you love. It's a long relationship, somebody that you connect with and somebody that you trust. Set you up on the portal. When you're ready to go see houses, just reach out and say, I'm ready. And well, I'm here. Yeah, it's very, very easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, she is the Pittsburgh property diva. Who came up with that?
I did.
That's pretty cool. I know. Excuse me.
did.
You need time to think about that. Holy mackerel. All right, listen, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. I'm craving chicken salad right now. Don't ask me why.
Oh, Andy's bringing you donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
So you're going to have to do some Dunkin' Donuts this morning and then maybe get some chicken salad later.
I love Dunkin' Donuts. I love their coffee.
I love chicken salad, too. My mother makes excellent chicken salad and tuna salad.
So next time she's doing that, just remember me. Broadcaster who works for food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, short break. We'll come back. We're going to just kind of once again.
upmc.com/AMD or call the UPMC Eye Center.
This is Richard Bazzi inviting you to get Schultzified at schultzford.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on KDKA Radio.
How important do you think it is giving back to the community, Lauren Klein?
Very important. It's one of the most important things to do. I grew up in a home where volunteerism was, it was just part of what we did. I volunteered at a nursing home. I did work at the animal shelters. I didn't get a chance to help my mom this year because I was really busy, but this was the last year for our cancer center project that I worked on for the last decade.
I remember talking about that.
So it's a Valentine's Day project, and she did it this year for the last year by herself. And we would pass out Valentine's bags for everybody at the Intercommunity Cancer Center out in Monroeville. So I think giving back is super important. And we were just talking about long-term goals. And, you know, I love this industry, and I love the opportunities that it's given me and the wonderful people that I've met. And I still have many years left, but my goal ultimately when I'm done selling houses is to teach and to help people, because nobody would help me. Nobody would help me when I started in this industry. And in my previous...
Funny how you don't forget stuff like that.
I don't forget it. And I remember how hard it was, and I remember how mean people were.
Why do you think that was? Just different?
Heck, I don't know. I felt like I was in the twilight zone. But I never want a new agent coming into the industry to feel like nobody's going to help, and that we don't want you to succeed. There's plenty of business to go around for everybody, and the better the agent you are, the better the consumer experience will be. And we all need to help each other succeed instead of, smashing each other down and making it more difficult than it already is, because this is a hard job, and we manage a lot of moving parts during a real estate transaction. So the nicer and smarter and more in tune we are as agents, the better we are for the consumer, the better we are for the closing company, the better we are for the lender. And we need to take care of each other in the middle of that transaction instead of fighting and carrying on and, taking everything personal.
Nobody wins when you do that.
Nobody wins. It just creates more stress. So I think giving back is part of something everybody should do. Pick a cause, pick something that you love, that you're passionate about, and give when you can, every chance you get.
All right, now
pay it forward.
Do me a favor. Tell the folks what they need to know, either buying or selling. Spring market clock is ticking, and Mr. Phil, as in Punxsutawney, said the weather's going to get warmer a whole lot sooner, so no more 6 weeks of winter. I think it's time to put the sign in the front yard.
I can't. Yeah. Well, if you're getting ready to sell your house, declutter, depersonalize. I can't say it enough. Give your buyers a nice clean slate. Overcome objections right out of the gate before they're even an objection. So fix things that are broken. If you have a gutter hanging off, get it fixed. If you have some cracks and you need a new paint job, get that done. For buyers out there, get your finances in order. Get a good plan for a budget. Get a pre-approval. And if you need help deciding what kind of loan you need, or what kind of house you want, where you want to live, how much money you want to spend, all of that stuff, there are professionals to help you. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to do a whole lot of online research. You can pick up the phone. You can call me. I'm happy to help. I meet new and wonderful people every week, and I'm always honored and privileged to have the clients that I have and the colleagues that I have and the business relationships that I've built over the last 10 years.
You really love what you do.
I do. I love it.
I know you do.
I do. I love it. So a lot of moving parts when you're in the middle of a real estate transaction, buying or selling, but you need somebody there to hold your hand and guide you through it.
All right. So so if you see your shadows, that mean we're going to have a good market as far as the spring market is concerned. Tell me what you think is going to happen.
I think we're going to have an excellent spring. I see lots of new listings coming up on the market every week, every day. The last couple listings I put up didn't last but a few days. So the buyers are out, the sellers, it's a nice seller's market out there, and I think our spring is going to be excellent.
I have to ask you this, and you don't have to give me a statement on what you feel, but
Okay.
I'm not real happy about what happened in New York with Amazon. I think they really dropped the ball, the people of
I
New
just
York.
hope they come here.
Well, they're supposed to do it in like different locations, you know, break it up a little bit more. That would be wonderful. We'll take it.
Pittsburgh would love to see Amazon here.
But I think the people of that region and some of the politicians, my opinion, I think they just don't realize the impact. But from your point of view, say if I gave us 25,000 new jobs
Wow.
at the Pittsburgh Airport corridor, what would that mean for the housing market? Real estate. I mean, you would,
Well-
your phone would be ringing off the hook.
It would be ringing off the hook. At least I hope it would be ringing off the hook. I think it would be amazing for Pittsburgh and our suburbs to have a company like Amazon come here. We have the space to accommodate that volume of people. And yes, the housing market would just explode.
I mean, that's just so exciting to
It
think of
is.
something of that significance.
Well, my fingers are crossed. They still have Pittsburgh in the back of their mind.
Yeah, something, you know.
Yeah,
We'll take
something good.
3,000 or 4,000. Okay.
Yeah.
As we say goodbye, you've got the final minute. Just remind people to get going.
Get going. Yeah, don't waste any time. If you want to buy in the spring and get yourself settled over the summertime, now is the time to get out there and get your feet wet. Go to open houses. Call me if you need help, if you have questions. You can call my cell phone, 412-628-8286. You can go to my Facebook page, Pittsburgh Property Diva, or my website, pittsburghpropertydiva.com. And, you know, if I don't answer the phone, I do call back. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer, just depending on how many phone calls I have. But I'm always happy to hear from you and happy to help.
How lucky is it to have a mortgage guy in the house, too?
It's awesome.
Oh, you do?
He's great. And I'd like to say good morning to my friend Teresa, who's been watching the show. And she came to my workshop. And thank you, girl. I appreciate you.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a quick...
So let me ask you, are you struggling with even the idea of selling your home? Or perhaps you're looking to buy your dream home, but you're not sure where to begin. If so, I want to share with you my 7-step process that has helped me sell over 100 homes a year right here in Pittsburgh. This process shows you how to negotiate the best possible price for your dream house or sell your house for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. Hi, Lauren here from Coldwell Banker Real Estate. You may have come across me on one of my shows, Talk Diva with the Pittsburgh Property Diva. When I got into this industry, all I wanted to do was help people find their dream home. Now, most people think the process can be really overwhelming, and it can be very stressful. Whether it's your first home or your 5th home, whether you want to build your dream house or move into an old Victorian, I tell my clients all the time, it's a big deal, and I totally get it. So, over the last 10 years, I've created a 7-step process that has helped hundreds of satisfied clients. I've even sold a house in less than 2 hours of it listing. I guess that's why they call me the Pittsburgh Property Diva. Now, I grew up in Pittsburgh. I watched my dad work a full-time job as a school teacher, and in his spare time, he was buying and selling homes, rehabbing them, and renting them out. He even built the home I grew up in, just reading manuals. Now, he only finished the house last year, but it's really solid. My dad always encouraged me to get into the real estate industry, but somehow I ended up with a master's degree in forensic science and law. I know, super nerdy, right? But eventually, I realized that real estate is where I belong. So if you're ready to raise your expectations for your real estate experience, I'd love to hear from you. Just click on the link below to download my Buyer or Seller Diva Kit. And you can also schedule some one-on-one time with me so that we can fulfill your dreams